Hello, you salty cans of tuna. You know what I hated most at school? When the teacher presented something for the first time and then expected us to fully understand it immediately. So unless the questions are really stupid, I'll try my best to clear up any confusion always. But time can be rotated into space, isn't that how gravity works? You know, it's actually funny because both replies are holding a different piece of the same puzzle. The full picture is that space-time gets bent, not space and time separately. In the video I explained how space-time determines how you distribute your speed bar between moving through space and moving through time. Well, when space-time is curved by mass, it's like the geometry of the playing field itself is changing, and in that warped region time literally ticks slower and objects are being pulled to it. Sounds familiar? Yeah, this is literally all what gravity is. Bend space-time, and unless you're watching from deep space, you are being affected by it right now as you're watching this. So time moves slower not because your body gets redirected like with velocity, but because the fabric time is measured on gets stretched. And yeah, one of those measurers are you, the observer. If you were on the ISS, you would actually be in weaker gravity than on Earth's surface, so time would tick slightly faster up there, which is exactly why satellites carry specialized clocks that get constantly synchronized with ground time. And that also shows how time dilation isn't a trick of perception, it's physically real and measurable. Mathematically, time and space do get mixed together in the coordinates, but physically you can actually swap one for the other, and that's exactly why nobody has ever turned 45 degrees and ended up 6 months earlier. Time and space don't rotate into each other like spatial dimensions do. The math literally has a minus sign to make sure of that. And now, in my opinion, the most interesting comment: you can say time can only go forward since we are three-dimensional creatures, maybe a fourth-dimensional creature could move back in time. Now, first of all, we need to clarify, time and the fourth spatial dimension are two very different things, which I explained in the video by the way. A fourth dimensional creature would be able to move through another fourth dimension, which we would simply not be able to see. The jump from 1D to 2D to 3D is logical for us, but 3D to 4D mathematically maybe, but imaginably not at all, that's for sure. And we haven't found any four-dimensional object, let alone four-dimensional creatures. To be honest, we haven't even found anything that's not three-dimensional. Math sometimes treats teeny tiny particles such as electrons as 0D, but they are really not. But still, there are so many unexplainable phenomena, and maybe the fourth dimension might be the answer to some of them. In fact, there are some theories that suggest exactly that, the fourth dimension being the answer to certain behavior. But we will see, maybe we will never know the true answer and are just physically limited by our brain. And about the multiverse theory, all it states is that there might be many universes, maybe even an infinite amount of universes, which just means there could be some universes with similar structures as ours, and in which you might also exist, maybe doing the same thing, maybe doing something completely different, but the most discussed theories don't talk about them being linked in any kind of way. This theory is actually way less spectacular than a lot of people portrayed. Infinite universes just means infinite possibilities, not infinite connections. And as always, stay skeptical. Bye.